The business case for sustainability. In an age of global climate change and rising consumer expectations, sustainability is becoming a key element of business strategy. Companies that integrate environmental and social policies not only build a positive image, but also gain a competitive advantage. Why sustainability matters in business? Sustainability is not just a trendy slogan, but a key element of modern business management. In the face of growing pollution and dwindling natural resources, companies must adapt their strategies to meet new demands from the market, consumers, and regulators. Sustainability responds to these challenges by combining environmental responsibility with innovation and long-term profitability. Why is sustainability so important, and how can it benefit companies? Learn the case for implementing green solutions in business. Legal requirements. The CSRD, Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, is an EU act that is designed to increase transparency and consistency in sustainability reporting by companies. It is a response to growing public interest in sustainability issues and rising expectations for transparency in companies' ESG, environmental social governance activities. The new CSRD rules and obligations will gradually cover an increasing range of companies. From January 1st, 2024, ESG reporting in the European Union is mandatory for large public interest companies with greater than 500 employees, regulated by the Non-Financial Disclosure Reporting Directive, NFRD. From January 1st, 2025, ESG reporting in the European Union will be mandatory for all companies fulfilling at least two of the following three criteria. Employs at least 250 people. Has annual revenues of at least minimum of 50 million euros. Has a balance sheet total of at least minimum of 25 million euros. Starting in 2026, medium and small-sized companies will also have to disclose their ESG indicators in the report. The first benefit of taking care of sustainability is therefore to minimize regulatory risks. Companies that apply sustainability principles are better prepared to keep up with these requirements. Applying sustainability-oriented policies will guarantee companies a competitive advantage in the long-term scenario over those companies that ignore environmental and social issues. Becoming and being a sustainable company is much more than mandatory reporting and compliance. Learn about the other benefits of integrating sustainability into your business strategy. Increasing competitiveness means building a brand that consumers want. Research shows that an increasing proportion of consumers are choosing products that are transparent about the footprint they leave in their life cycle. There is also a growing trend in consumption habits where consumers are willing to pay a higher price for a product with less negative environmental impact. Hence, if an organization commits to sustainability and shows it to consumers, it is likely to gain more market share and increase revenues. Operational savings. Implementing sustainable practices, such as energy efficiency or waste reduction, leads to lower operating costs. For example, investing in renewable energy sources can result in long-term savings. Finding ways to reduce material and water consumption or minimize the use of hazardous chemicals also contributes to sustainability. Building customer trust and loyalty. Customers expect companies to be socially and environmentally responsible. Transparency in sustainability efforts helps build stronger relationships with customers and business partners. Companies that engage in environmental activities contribute to improving the quality of life of local communities, which in turn builds their positive image and strengthens relationships with stakeholders. Access to new markets and investments. Sustainability opens the door to cooperation with investors and partners who prefer projects in line with environmental values. Many financial institutions offer more favorable terms for companies with a green strategy. Winning the competition for talent. Sustainability, as a core value, is essential to attracting motivated and qualified people to work. Most of today's employees, especially those of the younger generation, want to see sustainable operations in their workplace and are enthusiastic about companies that have a positive impact on the future. Companies that ignore aspects of sustainability risk losing competitiveness and customers in the face of changing societal expectations. On the other hand, companies that already invest in sustainable practices have the opportunity to become leaders in their industries, creating the future and contributing to a more sustainable economy and a better world. Sustainability in business is therefore an investment in the future, both for the company and for the environment. Green growth in companies is crucial not only because of regulatory necessity, but also as a strategic business decision that brings tangible benefits. The integration of environmental and social activities builds a positive corporate image, increases customer loyalty and investor confidence, which ultimately increases competitiveness in the market and opens up new business opportunities. As a conclusion to this section, Read Grant Thornton's 5 recommendations for mid-market firms in terms of implementing green practices. Take action sooner rather than later when it comes to reporting requirements. Acting now will give you time to build up your knowledge and processes. Being sustainable can offer a competitive advantage for mid-market firms that get it right. Increasing your brand reputation helps drive business and investment. Speaking to an advisor can help simplify the process and plot the right course. Our job is to understand new requirements and help you navigate them. Larger companies need to work with their mid-market partners. Sharing expertise from navigating regulation can reduce risk and improve efficiency. The sustainability journey is not a sprint. It could take years to perfect a strategy, but the most important action is to take the first step. Sustainable supply chain management and purchasing practices. According to the UN Global Compact and Business for Social Responsibility, supply chain sustainability is managing environmental, social, and economic impacts and encouraging good management practices throughout the life cycle of goods and services. Sustainable supply chain management is an approach that takes into account environmental, social, and ethical considerations at every stage of delivering products and services, from sourcing raw materials to delivering the finished product to the customer. In an era of rising consumer expectations and regulatory requirements, companies must take a responsible approach to their purchasing and supply management processes. Entrepreneurs who implement sustainable supply chain management should consider the following key elements. 1. Choosing a responsible supplier. Collaboration with suppliers that respect sustainability principles, such as minimizing carbon footprint, reducing waste, or respecting workers' rights. Supplier audits and certifications, such as ISO 14001 Environmental Management, help identify partners that are in line with company policies. SEDEX, Supplier Ethical Data Exchange, a platform for exchanging data related to sustainable supply chain management. The database enables the collection, publication, and reporting of information from suppliers, which is divided into 4 main categories: labor standards, health and safety, environment, business ethics. SEDEX can be used by companies wishing to check their current potential suppliers, as well as by suppliers themselves, who have the opportunity to post data about their services and labor standards in the database at www.sedex.com. Purchasing to support local communities and to develop the regional economy. Working with small businesses and community initiatives that promote sustainability. 2. Minimizing the ecological footprint. Optimization of logistics and transportation, e.g., by shortening delivery routes, using low CO2 emissions vehicles, or developing local supply chains. 3. Selecting renewable or recycled materials. Building a green supply chain is helped by a variety of metrics. For example, the carbon footprint calculator, www.carbonfootprint.com/calculator.aspx, or plastic footprint, www.plasticdisclosure.org// Ethics in the supply chain. 1. Ensuring that production and purchasing processes do not abuse human rights or support worker exploitation. 2. Transparency and reporting of suppliers' labor and environmental practices. 3. Transparency and traceability of products. Investing in technologies such as blockchain to monitor every step of the supply chain, ensuring compliance with environmental and ethical standards. 4th, informing customers about the sources and production methods of goods to build their trust and raise awareness. Managing waste in the supply chain. 1. Facilitating the return or recycling of products by customers, reverse logistics. 2. Implementing waste reduction strategies in logistics processes, such as by minimizing packaging or using biodegradable materials. 3rd, preference for green materials and products by buying materials certified as green, e.g., FSC for wood, GOTS for textiles. 4. Avoiding the purchase of raw materials that contribute to environmental degradation, such as illegally harvested wood or conflict minerals. Sustainable supply chain management and purchasing practices are essential elements of modern business that benefit both companies and the environment. By taking a responsible approach to supply, companies can increase their competitiveness, minimize risks, and contribute to building a sustainable economy. We have come to the end of the first part of this module. Stay tuned for the other parts.